there is one senior disciple of my Gurudev, Swami Rama. He was Swami Vedabharati. And he opened up his meditation center as per his guru's instructions, called Meditation Center in Minneapolis, in America. Then he started working on that. People started coming. I'm talking about 40 years back, when even in the West, yoga was something very new. Swami Rama created a new wave. Then after a while, he came back to his guru and said, Swamiji, whatever you had asked me to do, I have done it, and it's going on very good with your grace. So Swami Rama asked him, how many people have been able to touch on? How many people have become meditators? And what is the population in Minneapolis? He said, maybe I'm not very sure what is the number of the population. It's touching 1 million or something like that, he said. That means not even 1% you have touched the people. So don't come back to me saying that I have done it until you touch 1 million population. I want you making them, everyone, a meditator. Right? So connecting to that, I was very much impressed by this episode when I heard it from Swami Vedabharati ji. It was going on in my mind. And when I travel a lot to US, Canada and all that, and meet so many people, even in India and all that, I used to come across this question. Like, people know about Paramahamsa Yogananda, right? But many people say they don't know who is Swami Rama. Maybe it's my attachment to my guru, doesn't matter. Somewhere I love attachment. So I used to feel bad. How is it that I know it's not a sentimental statement that I am making, that I am attached to my guru, that I am saying this, but he is a rarity among the rare yogis, and what contributions he has done to the world. But people are yet to know about him. So I used to be very depressed. How is it that Baba, I call him Baba, is not known to people like the way Paramahamsa Yogananda is known? घर घर की कहानी बनना चाहिए बाबा का, but not happening. Millions of people should come to know about it. Why it's not happening? So this used to be my prayer to my guru. I know you are not interested in all these things, that how many people come to know about you and all that. But the quantity and the quality of work that you have done in the path of Shri Vidya is yet to be opened up to the world. And when it's going to happen? And people should know more and more about your contributions, and you as a yogi, you as a guru. It's not yet been, explored by the people. So you talk about millions. You told Swami Vedabharati that you talk about touching millions and all that. When is it going to happen? For this century. According to me, is one of the greatest yogis that 20th century has ever seen. There is something called manifestation, which has been a very trendy word nowadays, right? And Shri Vidya and Shri Chakra is an expression of that manifestation power in perfection and in totality. That is the very first sentence that Swami Rama talks about when he talks about Shri Vidya.
It's the highest
power of my manifestation.
Okay.
Power of manifestation.
The most evolved form of the power of manifestation is Shri Vidya. Gotcha.
Yeah. So in that sense, how to manifest this, make it happen? So manifestation power, I had asked this question to my another Shri Vidya Guru from Mysuru. We call him Guru Galu. Galu, when we add it, is an expression of respect to Guru. Guru Garu in Telugu and Guru Galu in Kannada and all that. So we used to address him as Guru Galu. So one day I asked him about this manifestation power in Shri Vidya. In what simple terms he used. I want the viewers to know about it. Still, I am trying to answer your question.
Take your time.
He said, see, Jyoti, it's very simple. You are standing here and there is a tree, say about a kilometer ahead of you. You are able to see the tree and you want to reach there to do something. Manifestation means even before your physical body goes there, you are already there. Can you see this? The beauty of this? When you are already there means what? You are still here thinking of the tree. You are already there and then you get into a process of going. This is what all top level yoga masters, gurus, sages, this is how they manifest. Coming back to your question again. So there is a saying that a fish in the pond, it always looks at the bird in the tree. And it always desires, when the time will come that I am going to be there. It's against nature. A fish cannot go onto the tree at all. It's against nature's law. But the fish wants to do this. Its power of manifestation is so perfected. Then it's already on the tree. The process of swimming out of the water, and then it needs the trunk of the tree to support it, and then it has to climb and then go onto the top twig and sit there and look around. That is its desire, no? From a higher level it wants to see. It just happens. Means manifestation power is something beyond nature's law. If the fish had to believe that it is confined to this nature's law, it would never even think of going onto the tree like a bird. But if the manifestation power is so very strong, nature also yields its way to you. It means to say you have mastered the elements of nature. So, today morning when I was in my meditation, I converse with my Guru. And I know he listens to me. I said, I am going for this podcast. I am sure you are going to be there with me, guiding me all the time. I don't have any doubts about it. And I had been asking you that I, in my lifetime, whatever this body has as lifespan, maybe 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, whatever it is. I'm already 67 now. But how is it possible for me to reach millions of people, to talk about my Guru and his yogic contributions and also about Shri Vidya? Because he had already predicted 30 years back that I would be like this. It did not come to me as a surprise. Though all the time I was resisting and desisting that I don't want to become a Guru. Because, the beauty and the enjoyment that you have being a disciple with such a great Guru can never match with the kind of position when we take up the Guru's job, Of course, we are not, in the tradition, we are never Gurus. We are not self-proclaimed Gurus. It just happens as a process. We always are the representatives
Of the higher force.
We are just the tool or the instrument. So I was asking him, I said, I am doing the podcast and you gave me the answer, a long waiting question that I did not know that I would talk for a few hours. I don't even know how long the podcast is going to be. And it would reach millions through this Ranveer, who is a warrior. This is what it came about you early morning around 3:15. I woke up and I was just walking about. And this message came to me and I wrote it on just piece of paper. The seeker, Ranveer. The warrior spirited guy, who is making Tantra, some word I have written it, it's there, the digital way, available or something like that, available to so many people in the digital way. So that is how that connectivity about you was revealed to me. So today morning it was a revelation to me that I just sit and speak and then millions of people listen to it. That means the manifestation power is that you being a fish, you don't have to swim and then go onto the land and then look for a tree and then climb up and then see the bigger vista and then try to reach out to people. See, in my mind was 1-to-1. Reaching means 1-to-1. कितने सालों तक कर सकती हूँ मैं? If I want to even to reach 1 million people, how is it going to happen? I was clueless how it's going to happen. And I used to think, that means I'll have to live for so many long years. I don't have such intentions. So how it is going to happen? Did I ask for something wrong and I'm trapped in this? Trapped in this body to do that? Then morning when I completed my meditation, I was so happy. That Baba ने इतने आसानी से ये path ढूंढ लिया मेरे लिए. It's just happening like this. See, I am not the person who watches podcast. I didn't know anything about podcast. Then one day, as my book release date was approaching, some of my students are in the media. So they were very particular that I should start doing podcast. And then I asked, what is this podcast? So they explained to me, this is what and all is. Then they showed me on YouTube and all how podcasts are being done and all that. They are trying to upgrade me with this information, digital world. Then I happened to see your podcast also. And then one day it popped up. Your podcast popped up. Otherwise, I didn't know how to go to that and then search and all that. Because it popped up, I saw. I felt that this fellow is a very wonderful soul. But there is something serious problem with his, Vishuddha chakra.
Which is Vishuddha?
Throat chakra. And that vagus nerve is, in spiritual way I'm talking about, nothing physical. Vagus nerve, because otherwise people don't understand what it is. Because that nerve can be, in a very loose term, we can say that it connects to Sushumna Nadi. Nadi is different from nerve. They are not one and the same. But for people to understand it better, vagus nerve means Westerners understand it very easily and doctors appreciate it better. So I'm using that word. So there is some kind of an energy blockage in him that is not allowing him to progress in this digital world that he's trying to do. In that, I think you have spoken about how you were struggling to do this and then you went to the temple. It's Mother Divine Temple or Krishna Temple.
Right.
And there you sat and meditated. And you also said, I didn't know what to meditate and all that. And then some kind of a thing happened and you had some experience. I vaguely remember that.
Yes.
And after that, I was listening to that perhaps. Then I felt that if by grace, this block gets removed, he's going to be a fantastic person. He's going to do something amazing in this field. And I feel so motherly about him.
Same. The feeling.
This is the word I used. I didn't say he looks like my son. No. I said I feel very motherly about this fellow.
Thank you, ma'am. My week is made. Year is made.
Some of our students used to say, Ma, one day you should do Ranveer's podcast. So, हाँ हो जाएगा. And I knew very well that I would be here.
I remember the podcast you're speaking about, and I remember the experience I had in the Krishna temple. It was a Krishna temple very close to my childhood home, and I was struggling to adapt into speaking Hindi. But the thing is, if you want to shift something in our country, you have to speak the language of the masses. So I'd actually tried for 6 months to start a Hindi podcast and just wasn't happening. Hindi wasn't flowing out. And I sat in a temple out of frustration. And I sat for very long.
Right.
And I felt something opening up in my throat. So,
Chai.
right, very, very shortly after that, we started our Hindi phase. Do you still feel the...
It's not 100% clear. हो रहा है.
Hey, if you enjoyed today's clip, make sure you check out all the other clips we've uploaded on this channel. You'll find a clip related to almost every single topic as long as you're willing to search for it.